Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back. I hope everyone's in good health and doing well, safe. Since we're transitioning this course now to online, I kind of wanted to go over a few things about getting yourself set up to work at home or wherever you happen to be at. Finishing out the semester online and having to work from home presents some new challenges. But we are totally capable of overcoming those challenges and continuing to learn and make some great artwork. Many of you probably already have a space where you like to draw or paint or create artwork in, and that's great. Use that, keep that up. But check out this video here. We'll go through a few things that might help you tweak your space and make it more efficient and effective. So let's get into it. All right, so this is my workspace here. This is where I draw and paint. And I like to set myself up so that I can utilize natural light, daylight. So I've got myself set up here next to this window that allows a lot of light to come in. I do have to supplement that light though with lamps. So I've got lamps set up above my drawing surface here to get light on my work surface. Can sometimes use these clip-on lamps too. If you've got any of these handy available, clamp those up top and get some light down onto your surface. These standing lamps too come in handy. I oftentimes use these, set these up around to add more light if needed. So, look around your space, your house, utilize whatever lamps or light that you've got. See if you can also use the natural daylight. I've got my easel set up here. If you don't have one of these stand-up easels, you can always use a drawing board or any large piece of wood. You can always use that as your work surface. So then all you've got to do is find somewhere to rest this top edge, right? You could work up next to a table or a shelf or something and work that way. In your workspace, you also need somewhere to set up objects to work from. So to set up a still life or any subject, whatever we're going to be painting or drawing, we'll need somewhere to set that up. So I've got a taller table that I use over here to set objects on. Use whatever you've got. Some other things that I've got that come in handy. I've got a little rolling cart here. You can see I've got another little end table over there too, a side table that I put things on. I've got my art box here. Of course, our respirators, which are really handy now. Anything else I need over here, rags and things. The other thing to consider if we're painting or working with any harmful fumes, we've got to have good ventilation too. Another good benefit of having your setup near a window that you can also, when you need to, use that window for ventilation. Open it up, set up a fan to draw those harmful fumes up and out of your space. Some other things I've got here for drawing. Sometimes I'll wheel in, scoot in this little table. So I've got a little trash can set up here, and then an air purifier, and I use this whenever I'm sharpening my pencils, right? And I'm getting graphite or Conte or charcoal dust up in the air. This helps kind of filter that out. So safety is important too, right? Think about your lungs and what you and your family members and your pets are breathing in. Right? See if you can reduce the amount of harmful dusts and fumes that you're breathing in. If you don't have an air purifier, that's okay. You can make things work. Usually what I'll do when I'm painting and I know I'll be working with materials that have fumes and solvents. I'll open up that window, set up a fan there to pull the fumes out. So make sure you're taking that into consideration. We can definitely be totally safe working from home. It might just take a little bit of extra planning and setup, but it can be done. We can do it. I'm right-handed, so setting up my drawing surface just to the right of my subject. It frees up my left hand so I can use that to take measurements and observations. And it also keeps my drawing or painting hand from blocking my view. Right? It's well out of the way over to the right here. Now, if I were left-handed, I'd want to set up my subject just to the right of my canvas or my drawing board. You don't want your drawing board or your canvas to block the view of your subject, right? You don't want to have to keep looking around or over your canvas or your drawing board to see your subject. So it shouldn't be blocking it. And if you tweak your setup enough, you can get it to where you don't have to turn your head at all when you're looking back and forth between your subject and your drawing or painting. You can get it to where all you've got to do is move your eyes, right? And that's really good. That helps. The other benefit is that visually you've got your subject right there, so you can compare the subject and your artwork side by side. It really helps with getting more accuracy in your artwork. You want to try to get your canvas or your drawing surface to be at roughly your eye level or maybe a little bit below your eye level. And to prevent distortion in your drawing or your painting, you'd want the angle or the tilt of the drawing surface or the canvas to be roughly parallel with the front plane of your face. If you've got pets or children or little ones or loved ones that you've got to watch out for, keep that in mind too. Keep all of my dangerous supplies closed up here. I try to make sure that I don't have anything harmful that they can chew on. Make sure your rags are clean. Cats sometimes like to chew on plastic, so I've got to watch out for that. Most of my art supplies I've got locked up or shut up here in this. So photographing your artwork is going to be critical here for continuing our course online. There's a great YouTube video that I'll post a link to, and it's got some great tips for photographing your work at home. Make sure you watch that. There's some really good information there. So for photographing my artwork, I'll often scoot this table over next to my window here. It's good to photograph your work on a brighter surface. This allows you to see inconsistencies in the lighting a little bit easier. You can see down here in this corner it gets a little darker, which makes sense, right? It's further away from the light. So there's some things that you've got to tweak and adjust when you're photographing your work. Notice here too, if I move the table over a little more, ooh, there's a pesky cast shadow, right? So this beam here is blocking the light and creating this cast shadow. I don't want that shadow to appear in my artwork, or in my photo of my artwork, right? So I'll watch out for that. So I usually try to photograph it laying down flat. Watch that YouTube video that I've posted a link to. It's going to go over this process in a little more depth and detail. Problem that I often encounter, oftentimes it'll be brighter. This area that's closer to the light source, to the window, is a little bit brighter than this area that's further away. So one great tip that video showed was to use a little white reflective card down here at the bottom, right? So if I stand that up, now that's little card is reflecting light down onto this bottom part of the drawing, which comes in handy. So that's a great little trick or tip from that video that I learned that I'm going to use now too when I'm photographing my work to help me get more even, consistent lighting over the drawing, over the work. All right, I hope some of this information helps you out. Of course, if you have any questions on anything, feel free to send me a message. And I look forward to seeing all the great artwork that we make for the rest of this semester here in our homes. So let's get to it.